everyone, I am here with card number 2 in my Valentine's card series. And for this card, I used the Tailored Expressions Tag Along Valentine stamp set with the coordinating dies. I used the Simon Says stamp and Greeting Farm collaboration Mini Pony Party. And I used the Whimsy Speech Bubbles die set. Pink and green is one of my favorite color combinations. I love making pink and green Christmas cards. So I decided to do pink and green Valentine's Day cards. So I have two 4x4 squares for of green cardstock for my card bases, and then I have two pink squares, and then I have four of these little rectangles that was just from some pattern paper I had in my scrap card bin. So I'm going to be using my Misty to stamp out my images. And this is the first time I've tried this, where you lay the dies down and then position the stamps and use your Misty to pick up the stamps and stamp them, and then you are able to place your dies down and cut them all out at once. Um, I rarely buy the dies with the stamp set. And the only reason I have the dies with this stamp set is because I bought it in a D-stash and they came together. So there you can see I cut out two of each of the four images because I wasn't sure how many I was going to use or which ones I were going to use, but I end up just using the dog and the cat. And I'm going to color these images with my Faber-Castell colored pencils. And here is where I learned that I have a much easier time if I color before I die cut. Just was having issues with the image. It was so small that the pressure I was applying, it was moving on me. So I was trying to hold it down. And I think in the future, when I do this, I will just color first and then die cut. I also wanted to mention one reason I'm making the cards smaller is because Mel mentioned in her YouTube video that each of the children get a sack to go on their door to put their cards in. And if the cards are really big and bulky, you won't be able to fit them in their sack, or as many in their sack. So I decided that I was going to make some that were smaller. So some 4x4 cards, and I may end up making some A2 size cards as well, but I just kind of figured, the smaller the cards, the more they could get, the more they could fit in their little Valentine's Day sack. So I colored the kitty cat orange, and I am going to color the puppy dog brown. And this is just super simple coloring. There's nothing special. There's no fancy technique. I am just putting color to paper. I'm not going to blend it out with Gamsol or anything like that. So it is just going to look like the texture of colored pencil. And I had to really struggle with these images because I wanted so badly to put some googly eyes on them, because I thought that would be really cute, or to glitter up their hearts or balloons. But one of the requirements is you can't have sequins, glitter, that kind of thing that could pop off and become a choking hazard. So I googly eyes, not glitter. Glitter, you can't have glitter either. I'm not really sure why, if they consider that a choking hazard or not. But the googly eyes and sequins are considered a choking hazard. So I am just going to put the cards together now. And I had some idea of what I wanted to do. And I have the hardest time getting my layers on straight. I know they make things that are supposed to help you with that, and I probably need to invest in something, because I do struggle with getting my layers on straight. And here I'm adding just a thin piece of that pink cardstock to break up the two different patterns. And I was trying to figure out which image I wanted to go on this card because I was going to flip the other card and put the darker pink on the top and the lighter pink on the bottom. So in the end, I end up using the puppy dog on the first card and the kitty cat on the second one. So there you can see I flipped it because I didn't want them to be identical. I wanted to mix them up some. So there they are, and I also die cut some white cardstock out of the Whimsy Speech Bubble stamp, and this is the Greeting Farm Simon Says stamp, Mini Ponies. That was the Stamp Timber collaboration for 2016. And in that set, there is this little sentiment that says "Be mine," which fits perfectly inside that speech bubble. So I'm just going to ink that up with some Versified ink, which has become my new favorite ink for sentiments and detailed images that I'm not going to color with my alcohol markers because it does kind of smear and smudge if you use it with alcohol markers. But for sentiments, I absolutely love it. It gives the crispest, clearest image. And I'm going to take some foam tape and I'm going to pop my images and speech bubbles up with this foam tape. And this is some foam tape I actually got several years ago at a local hardware store. It was super cheap. You got like 2 rolls for $1, and you can tell it's very low quality. It is very sticky and it sticks to you, and but I'm almost out of it. So I've used one whole row and I'm getting low on the second roll. Um, and then, kind of as a last minute change, I decided instead of putting the puppy dog in the center of the card like I did the kitty cat, I was going to put him in the lower left corner. Again, just to make it a little different. I didn't want them to be exactly the same. And here you can see I'm struggling with that foam tape. It kept wanting to come off the paper and stick to my finger. So there's where I ended up sticking the puppy dog. And again, I'm going to pop up his image to, or his speech bubble as well. And I really like how he turned out. I think he's my favorite of the two. And the speech bubble on the kitty cat card was kind of crooked and it was bugging me, so I just straightened that out. So there are the two cards. And I really like how they turned out. I think they're cute. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.